here in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, where Penn Refrigeration's forced air cooling system is a main component here at PG&Ns & Sons. With 14 fans and 70 horsepower refrigeration, this system dramatically reduces the time peaches need to reach their optimum temperature.
As the peaches are supplied, they'll go into the conveyor system. They'll advance through that conveyor system, being chilled step by step as they go to the very end and put in the cooler. So the quicker you can cool them, the longer basically of a shelf life they will have at the grocery store or anywhere else.
The next step is to grade and package the peaches before they're sent off to be sold. It all takes place in this area, with graders working quickly to keep up with the volume of peaches passing through.
The rolling system is a lot less labor intense, so they bring them in 4 bins at a time at the far end. They enter onto a conveyor. As you can see, that conveyor travels, puts them on a turntable, which turns them 90 degrees, and then they advance onto this conveyor. So once they hit the first fan station, that fan is triggered by a micro switch. So air travels under the conveyor to the bottom bin, down through this slot here, through the peaches into this cavity, and then it goes into a slot like that through the wall, with the fans pulling on the 2 openings in the wall. Everything else is blocked off, so the air only has one path through these 2 areas, then up in behind the coils. The coils pick up the air, and then it circulates back through the room. There's a big deflector, diverts the air downward. As the air comes through, the thermostat's able to pick up the temperature of the heat coming from the peaches, and it'll keep the fan running until such time that the peaches are just close to room temperature, just slightly above. In the meantime, they'll be loading other stacks of 4 bins at a time, and each time they add one, it'll advance to the next fan. The next fan starts, get progressively cooler as the product moves along down the line. Well, there's actually 2 different control systems here. On this one, we have the controls for the refrigeration. So they're in the same order going down the conveyor, starting from the east. So the 35 horsepower, that's the biggest one. 25 horsepower is the middle one, and then the small one on the west end is the 10 horsepower. This gives us the air coming into the cooling coil, which is the back side. This is the temperature leaving the cooling coil. As you can see, there's 14 controls to match the 14 fans. They're just moving now. You can hear everything's clicking as the switches go. So the gap moved from the second to the third space. There's still a gap on the first one. And the temperature's coming down with the ones that are running. It typically comes down. You'll see maybe a little variation where there's a gap between the cooling coils. The air is maybe not quite as cold, but it progressively goes from higher temperature to lower. And again, on a hot day, you'll see a lot more variation in temperature. Prior to adding this room, they found that the rooms were running probably in the range of 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Ideally, they want them down around 34 or so. And now they find that running this room first, the peaches are maintained in the other rooms, right where they want them.
Penn Refrigeration is a refrigeration contractor in the Niagara Peninsula. Started in '61. Enjoys doing a lot of agricultural work, from greenhouse growers to apple growers and vegetables, and also in the commercial industrial market where factories, air conditioning, makeup air, boilers. I'd probably call us a mechanical contractor more so than a refrigeration contractor, but our roots are in refrigeration, and it will probably stay that way.